Hello, I'm AVX Toycat, and welcome back to the episode of the Minecraft Bedrock Updated Adventures Let's Play. One of the many late game goals that people have in their survival worlds is to craft a Netherite beacon. This is the ultimate flex, or so people think, but I think a much bigger flex would be a beacon Netherite. A Netherite beacon, but the Netherite is beacons, and the beacon is Netherite. It's going to look ridiculous, it's going to be ridiculous, and it's going to involve killing a lot of wither skeletons, and then the wither multiple times, and then mining a lot of Netherite, but it's going to be totally worth it, and so join me on this journey today as I do precisely that. But because my inventory is so cluttered, instead of showing you those things first of all, we're going to start with an inventory organization montage. Look at this craziness right here. I have now organized my inventory, which means we can start on the order of business. I have to kill enough wither skeletons to get enough wither skulls, to get enough withers, to get enough beacons. It's a very circular set of logic, but I am looking forward to this because they have massively increased the number of mobs that can spawn in the Nether to like a problematic extent, but it means it's much easier to get wither skeleton skulls if you have a looting sword like we do. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, he got trapped in a boat. I was wondering why he was staying there. By the way, as we go into this Nether Fortress, I should mention that if you're a survival player, Sharpness might be the most tempting enchantment for a sword, but the one I absolutely recommend is Smite, and it's solely for this reason right here. The biggest threats you face in a world where there are no other people, it's just... Also, I said mobs spawn too often, and then I found precisely none. Maybe I was lying to you, clearly. But yeah, here's the interesting thing. Oh, it's the same Nether Fortress that goes into my giant tunnel. I had no idea about that. Wow, that's useful. I can get to my... Wow, look at that. You know, everything ties in together in Minecraft sometimes. But you want a Smite 5 sword if you're a survival player, because all the biggest threats, that's zombies, that's skeletons, wither skeletons, all the things that are undead, including the wither, are more damaged by Smite than by Sharpness, by a huge amount too. I'll show the exact number on screen because it changed after a lot of updates, but it's a huge amount of difference, and so especially when you've got wither skeletons, which do so much long-term damage and can be a real nightmare, it's recommended to have one of these. Also, I said there were so many wither skeletons and then there's been none. I swear there usually are. I just don't know where they are. Okay, well, since this is the Nether Fortress that goes through my giant 1,000-block tunnel, then maybe we should instead go to the other part of the same fortress, because I'm always encountering wither skeletons here when I'm just trying to mine. That's why I've kind of gone on a temporary hold. It's been exhausting. So around here somewhere, I should be able to find a way in that I can maybe... Nope, that's worthless. I mined some blocks for nothing there. Does anyone else get frustrated when it feels like whenever they don't need mobs, there are so many, and whenever they specifically need them, literally one spawns? Okay, I'll take one. That's fine for now, I guess. It's good experience. See what I mean, by the way? They have a very good range and a very good ability to deal damage, and so we're gonna have to watch out for them. Also, that's good. This is really bad damage. But okay, see, now they're everywhere. I spent so long looking for them, and then they appear when you least expect it, and they're gonna be everywhere now. Which is fine, it's just a little confusing. Oh, okay. And so now we've got to kill a bunch of wither skeletons. Should be nice and easy. Without looting, you have to kill on average 40 wither skeletons to get a skull. With looting, that number goes down to less than 20. So more than double the increased odds of getting those exact same wither skeleton skulls. And I'm gonna need it, because I'm gonna be killing a lot of dudes around here. The one downside of looting is you get stone swords on such a frequency that it genuinely just clutters up your inventory. Like, it is the inventory clutter enchantment as far as I'm concerned. But it's worth it to get these wither skulls. Ah! Sometimes. Hey, a wither skull. Perfect. Okay, so we just need to get a bunch more of these, and we'll be good. You need 27 wither skeleton skulls if you want to make 9 beacons, which I have to say, a little bit harder than just farming a bit of netherite, you know, because gold is easy to get, but fighting the wither, much harder task to refine that into what we need. Hey, that's 2. Okay, I'm getting beaten up quite hard for it, but that is 2 wither skulls. I am working my way up. Yay, number 3. So 3 wither skulls, and 20 minutes later, we're now ready to go and fight the Wither. So last week I fought the Wither on all 3 difficulties to see how they stack up. However, this week I'm going to be fighting the Wither on an even harder difficulty, which is to say in the middle of a big project. I've got so much Netherite that I need to clear out. As you can see, this tunnel was meant to be the same size as the one from earlier. It's meant to be this giant diagonal circular thing, and there's just hundreds of thousands of Netherite blocks that need to be mined. But what if I didn't do it by hand, but instead did it by sand? And so that is my very bad idea. But probably better idea to go a little bit further down. And so this section right here is right out in the open, which is exactly where you don't want to fight the Wither. You don't want it to have a bunch of space, but every single one of its explosive it fires at me will give me a bunch of Netherite, which I just so happen to need. And so that's not actually a terrible thing. And so let's precisely right now get this set up and do this. So this is where my Wither is going to go. Maybe a bad idea with all these ghasts firing around. But you know, I bet the Wither will kill the ghasts, and so it'll probably be good for me to have all these ghasts. Because then there's one more thing for the Wither to focus on that isn't me. So this is how you build a Wither, right? You grab your 3 skulls, you put one up here, and one up over here. And then the third arm should go right over there, I reckon. What have we done wrong here? Does anyone know? Is something up? Oh, I know what it is. The Wither skulls are all facing different ways. Okay, let's fix that. More seriously though, this is terrifying and I'm not quite sure what to expect. So we're just gonna do it and see how that goes, I guess. I do have my bow ready, and I am excited to see this Wither ghast interaction. I really am. Oh my god, it did work how I wanted it to. Nice. Okay, so I'm on fire, which is bad. But there are a lot of mobs around, which will soak up some of this damage for me, one would hope. Also gonna have to stay at full health. Again, doesn't matter the difficulty, these explosions are still explosions, and they are gonna cause a lot of damage. Look at that, my tunnel's been exposed already. Okay, speaking of being exposed, I need to expose the Wither as actually not a ridiculous boss fight if you keep your calm. And also, here's a fun thing. Again, this blows my mind every time I learned it. The blue Wither skulls can be redirected, so you can actually make your own explosions if you want to. But again, I don't really want to right now. Oh, look, I got him twice there. He's actually attacked the zombie pigman, so now he's got a whole horde of them angry at him, which is perfect for me. Is exactly what I want. But yeah, the first phase of the Wither does cause some explosive damage, but it's the second phase you want to be real excited for. And let me show you why. 1, there's this mega explosion coming up. I mean, it's already basically happened, as you can see. There's this mega explosion, but 2 is now the Wither's going to do this charge attack at you. As you can see, destroying all the blocks in the way and giving you a free hit to whack him with your sword if you really want to. It is very, very hard to do this without a ceiling and a way to climb up to him. But again, this point in the fight should be easy enough if I just put on my chest plate, let him charge at me again, and then from here, run at him. You let the Wither come to you, and then the Wither's so exhausted from its charge motion that it can't even finish you off. This was an easy fight, I think you'll find. I want to finish him with a bow. I know it looks like I should, but you just can't do it. The blue force field stops that. And yeah, we'll finish him just like that. With an axe, actually. Just for a little bit of... There we go. Maybe I should have used looting. Just like that, we have a mega extra explosion, which is always fun to see, right? Oh, yeah, that's good. But also, somewhere in the midst of that is our Nether Star. And boom, we now have the first beacon of the day. But... it's not the only one, so let's get back. Okay. Also, we're probably gonna have to make a chest around here somewhere to store all this, because I don't have the inventory space for this much Netherrack. Actually, after coming through the wreckage, as it turns out, I do have this inventory space. It doesn't seem possible, but I guess explosions don't drop all of the blocks. And so I got most of the ones that count. And I also got a nice little bit of fire. See what I mean, by the way? There's all sorts of Nether Fortress mobs spawning exactly where they shouldn't right here. In exactly the way that could cause me a bit of pain on my way home. Actually, you know, I'll use the shortcut through my tunnel. I love this tunnel, by the way. I didn't even realize. I thought it was just a way to get to my Deep Dark and my Mesa and all those projects. But it's also a way to get to my Nether Fortress, which is very handy. And also, it's a way to get to my 1.17 part of the world. So wow, very beautiful. If you're curious what the 1.17 part of my world is, by the way, I feel like I have to show you. It's going very well right now. As you can see, once you leave the portal, you are greeted with a beautiful leaf and amethyst pathway. And once you follow that, you'll find there is a geode nearby. This geode is absolutely stunning. I don't know why I'm doing that accent. It doesn't really make any sense for this. And leads you right down here into what was a really good idea for a project that I didn't realize how much copper it would use, and so I never really finished. I've got a big tunnel connecting 2 amethyst geodes, so if I wanted to go AFK and collect some amethyst, I totally could. I just haven't ever done that, and also the tunnel is so unbearingly ugly. I mean, I got these nice little doors right here, don't get me wrong, but otherwise it's just awful, and probably a valuable lesson to be learned here. I might even take all these copper rods back and do something else with them. What do you reckon, internet? Let me know in the comments if you've got a fun idea for my copper rods, because I don't want to leave them here. Also, I don't know how to get out of this. I guess those doors exist for a reason, huh? Yeah, this is just very odd. Oh, actually, look at that. You can get a little bit of water on your head. What is actually happening there? You can see my whole body changing. Oh, also, this iron door only takes you out into a cave. Where's the actual surface? Why do I have a cave that's accessible via door? What sort of madman logic am I working with here? Oh, also, there's some nice oxygen on the other side of the doors. Can I go out this side? Okay, I can. There is a way out. Thank God. But yeah, from above, it's not much prettier. You can see where the idea is, and then you can see the execution is maybe lacking a little bit. There is a great idea there, and I think in the ocean somewhere, great place to do this. Just, it doesn't really work out right here. And also, for whatever reason, I still have my nether portal just slightly out of reach by Elytra. Okay, no, we got it. We're in. Okay, let's go kill some wither skeletons. Oh, just like that. Okay, let's do another fun little chippity-choppity montage thing. Again, I just really enjoy it. Oh, dear God. This does not fit nicely into a shortcut montage, but it is very fun. Montage is definitely not the right word for that, by the way. I really enjoy the noises that it makes, okay? It's very satisfying. Wow, 2 in a row. Perfect. Okay, so the last wither fight went so well that I think I can genuinely try this one a little closer to home. I think this part of the tunnel is the bit that needs the most excavation, but this is actually like quite precise work. I have to know where I'm mining. I think putting the wither here wouldn't actually help me any amount, but we will go a lot closer to here. Maybe this part of the tunnel over here. There's again a very fixed low ceiling, and although I might destroy some of the floor, I think the costs are worth the trade-off, and maybe the piglins agree with me. My God, are they annoying. Yeah, when you've got too many piglins around, what can you do besides summon the wither, really? I don't know. Actually, I followed it along, and the best place to place it does seem to be close to here anyway. But, you know, we prove it can be done now, so let's just place this down, hope the ghast doesn't destroy it, and then, okay, gotta be real quick. Go! I've never been so pressured to do something before, but we should be more than good right now. Let's do this. Let's fight the wither. But let's also get the piglin to fight him first. This time the wither explosion is going to detonate around a big body of lava, and I don't know what I'm meant to expect from that. Oh, I guess maybe not. Okay, charging over here. Let's finish this off the old-fashioned way, using a ghast. Yeah, nice and easy. Oh wait, we got to get right from the lava. Okay. You want to make sure there's no lava, no fire, nothing like that where the wither dies, because you might lose your good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, a wither rose. Nice. Okay, and then that is the... But bear in mind, these nether stars, even though they're one of the strongest items in the game, they're not ghast resistant, and you'll learn that the hard way. So yeah, at this point, I think it would be fun to do the exact same thing we'd be doing with wither skeletons, but with the wither. Again, has editing gone crazy if I'm going to kill the wither 4 times in 10 seconds? Maybe, but actually first, I had a good idea. Because although I'm killing the wither relatively easy right now, something I've always wanted to do is take advantage of the wither's weird healing is harming and harming is healing effect. And so I'm going to do that right now. Ah! Didn't have my Elytra on. And so I'm going to do that right now with my Elytra definitely on. You know, being in the nether and thinking I have an Elytra on when I don't is a really dangerous combination, as it turns out. I've never discovered that before, that's for sure. Okay, so hear me out here, right? I've got all these water bottles, and I have these melons that I harvested earlier. They don't seem very useful right now, but imagine if they could be incredibly useful for fighting the wither in weird and dumb ways, which I'm about to do. And so imagine, right? You take your nether wart, you put them on some water bottles. I used some of those gold nuggets I also got in the nether to make the melons glisten. And then I put the awkward potions in there. And what am I gonna get? some wonderful potions of instant health. Throw those in with some glowstone just for good measure. Ooh, these are looking real good right now, but they can't yet harm the wither, and so in with some gunpowder, there you go. And just like that, I've invented a way to damage the wither while also healing myself a little bit. This is obviously something you've been able to do for a while, but it is an incredibly fun pastime, because if you haven't seen how these work, let me show you. Okay, I know I must have shown off this project like a dozen times in the Let's Play already, but seriously, this is like 20 hours of work, and it's one of those few times where you genuinely look back at it and you're like, man, it is a cool thing to see in a world. It's a stupid thing to see in a world, but I still love it, and that's why I'm expanding it using my splash potions of healing, which makes perfect sense if you just give me a minute. Because I am about to make the incredibly ballsy decision to activate the wither down here. This is really, really not a smart idea. Even though this is a destruction project, igniting the wither in a place where I know that I'm going to be doing some damage is probably not considered smart by anyone's metrics. Am I doing something wrong? Oh, that block there. Okay. It's probably not good. Okay, I'll get this eventually. I'll work this out. How do we make the wither actually spawn? Does it have to be the head that goes on last? I bet it does. Okay, let's try that. There we go. So yeah, this is in the middle of my tunnel. This is the ceiling. If blocks up there get destroyed, I have to replace them. And let's just see how this goes, shall we? I bet it will go wonderfully. And I have no reason to believe, oh my god. See how many blocks got destroyed so amazingly quickly? This is a great, honestly, I should be, I have to search for Netherite later. Why don't I just use the wither there? If I'm already, actually, rather than saying that as a hypothetical, why don't I prove it? Anyway, so you've seen me fight the wither enough times now. I'm sure you're bored at this point. I mean, what are you gonna do, Toycat? You gonna just do your stuff again? No, this time I have something different planned. I don't know how far these projectiles go, but look at that. Oh, well that didn't work. Okay, let's wait till he comes after me, maybe. Oh wow, he just destroyed the lava. Perfect. Okay. So here's something wonderful you might not have ever seen before. You can throw these splash potions. Okay, well, you know what? It's wonderful if he's not rude and igniting a sea of lava at me. Okay, look at this. Okay, no, don't look at this. Look at the pain and run away from the pain. It can't hurt me anymore. Okay, apparently you can hurt me. Apparently that's what the wither does. Oh, gosh. Okay, so now the wither's going to do another charge attack, but over here. And that's going to be really enjoyable to watch. Because we're going to witness as the wither literally tears down. Oh, look at that. Yeah, he's tunneling for me now. Exactly what I want to see. And he's trapped, which means we can throw these potions. And look at that. Oh, you see that damage I dealt while also healing myself? It wasn't very much, but it was not zero. Oh, and he just did it again. So as you can see, I have worked out a way to get my tunneling done for me. This never works out how you want it to, but it is always fun to say the least. Also, yeah, look at that damage. You see how much of a difference that made when compared to my Smite 5 sword, which literally just instant wrecks? It's totally worth doing, and is a very good idea. I'm gonna wait for him to charge at me again, actually. Okay, and let's finish him off. Obviously, after going around and collecting all of the Netherrack, there are so many blocks of it, and this is all very valuable. I need literally hundreds of thousands for my overworld Nether project. So any amount we can get basically for free, we might as well take. I should probably also deal with the lava. But what if I didn't and I made that future me's problem? Yeah, future me gets screwed. What do you know about this? You gonna complain? I won't be able to hear it. I was just about to head down to my Netherite mine to actually set up the wither again, and just at the entrance here is a smithing table. And, very relevant to why I want to get all this Netherite for later. But for now, we're heading down, I do believe. Down here we go. Looks like I've basically already started the job here already. Just gotta remove some errant soul sand here. And we're ready to do this. And boom. There we go. Let's find some of this lovely ancient debris I hear he has. Okay, I was gonna try and do a cool cut to me killing the wither 3 times in 5 seconds, but I ran out of arrows mid-fight, and it actually just so turns out these healing potions might just be my saving grace. Because all I've got to do is stack up below the wither and then not get knocked down. Just stack up below him. It's really easy. He definitely approves of it, trust me. This is just what love looks like. And then we can just throw one at him. Okay, just like this. Yeah. Okay, and then we can actually shoot that sword, actually. Oh, God, maybe we shouldn't have. Okay, let's get out there. Maybe. Oh, yeah, let's get out as fast as we can. Oh, God, I broke Minecraft. Okay. It's a good sign. You want to break Minecraft. If you haven't broken Minecraft, you're not playing the game correctly, I reckon. I'm just going to heal for a bit. Okay. That's a good sign. Look at all this potential ancient debris that's being exposed. I mean, it's also probably being overwritten because I doubt the Wither can not destroy it. But it's a nice idea, right? At least, yeah, this one explosion at the end of the Wither is a good thing, which is why I like it so much. I might do it a few times. Oh, man, that was beautiful. So powerful. So there is a little bit of a storage issue. That being I filled up my one shulker box. Oh, so wait, no, the Nether Star. Right, that's the thing I'm here for. Cannot forget that. Oh, that was close to being forgotten about. But, yeah, we didn't find any ancient debris that time. But I'm sure this second time will be the charm. Okay, no ancient debris on that explosion either. But maybe, if we believe in ourselves, we'll find one soon. Yes, we finally have some uncovered. As you can see, ancient debris mining with the Wither. Actually a very smart idea. Wow, 2 in one batch. You might have destroyed the first one, but I'm pretty sure the second one still exists. And as you're gonna see, this is the most viable way to kill the Wither. Oh god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna hide behind the bedrock, and I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be just fine. Oh yeah, okay. Everything's fine, as you can see. No issues for me. And another Nether Star. I want to know... Okay, that ancient debris survived. That ancient debris survived. We got 2 ancient debris just for fighting the Wither. That's amazing. Did I say 2 ancient debris? Because I meant 3 ancient debris, apparently. Make sure there's no more. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, that's it. You know, pretty good record, all things considered. Whoa, there's 2 in this one too. I just got a full Netherite ingot just for fighting the Wither. Why didn't you? That's my question. Okay, so now we get one more Wither fight. We're probably going to lose a lot of this Netherrack. Oh, whoa, wait, 2 more? This is genius. You know, I thought that I'd find 1 after killing the Wither like 3 times. And I'd be like, well, that was pretty good value because I was already killing the Wither. But I just got 7 ancient debris for 2 Wither fights. This is genuinely the best way to find it. Anyway, 3rd time is the charm. Oh, that did not look like it was going to work. I don't know what I just did, but I don't see the Wither anymore. I'm a little bit scared, and I'm not sure if that's of good cause or not. Okay, there is the Wither. It's fine. Find me some more ancient debris. That is a skill you have, and I would like to see you do it. Also, is the skeleton actually doing damage to the Wither? I think so, right? Whoa, that's incredible. I don't even need to get involved in this one. This is beautiful. I've never been so inspired. Oh, okay. The Wither's given up. I think camping inside the lava is a bit of a low technique. You could have done better, Mr. Wither, if you ask me. But that's okay. I'm still coming after you. Just gonna have to keep knocking your blue skulls at you. Yeah, look at that damage. I ran out of arrows if you're curious as to why I'm doing this so horrifically and efficiently. Actually, you know, maybe I didn't. Maybe I can find them right now. Oh, I've never had multiple fights at the same time at Bedrock. But there's a first time for everything, I see. Okay, all of that only got me 1 arrow. But I'm going to use this arrow so well. Look at that. Oh, yeah, so much damage. Oh, I've never been so hurt by Big Boom time. But it's time to heal myself up, I reckon. Yeah, that was handy. Oh, yeah, you've got to be careful of a mob that describes itself as the Wither, which uses exclusively explosions and withering attacks. That is all I will say. There is some advice you might not have thought of before. We're going to keep letting the Wither do his big charge attack, though, because destroying these pillars is just so handy for seeing what's on the other side. I mean, that's obvious, but it's still useful. You want to do another charge attack over here? I reckon you'll enjoy it. And we can also finish him off a little bit easier. Honestly, good time fighting the Wither. Really good time fighting the Wither today. Wait, is that more ancient debris? That's Bedrock. Never mind. Okay, it is time for the final Big Boom of the day. Wow, that was something. It didn't reveal any ancient debris, so our running total still is just 7 ancient debris, which, you know, I'm going to be honest, I'm very happy to take 7 ancient debris home, but that means because you need 4 ancient debris per Netherite ingot, we are still 29 short of what we actually are going to need if we're going to make a block of Netherite. I've never made one in this world because I've only upgraded my tools. I've never just had spare Netherite. This will be my first block of Netherite for valid, genuine, usable reasons. But before I can go get that, I need to go tally up my Nether stars. Wait, did I definitely get the last one? I should really check, just in case, right? I was pretty sure there was a chest up here, but oh, there it is. Let's fill this with our Netherrack, because there is so much of it, and I can't be leaving it around here. I guess I hit the despawn period. Really hope I got enough Nether stars. How many withers was I killing again? No, there is one missing. Okay, it was over here somewhere. There is a Nether star. I didn't claim.
4 to 6 weeks later.
Ah! No. Okay, I got it. There was a 6th Nether star I totally forgot about. I had to comb through this entire thing and then look back at my footage to see where I even killed the wither. But that is 6 Nether stars. Thank God I didn't kill all of those wither skeletons just to waste the end result. But yeah, let's get out of here. This is a beautiful place, do have to say. Now a fun time has come because I'm going to get myself some glass, I'm going to get myself some obsidian, and these Nether stars together, and you know what I can create? I've never made 6 of them at once, but 6 beacons. Mwah! Isn't this a beauty? Just to be able to place down like a decoration. Honestly, quite an enjoyable moment. But yeah, we're going to take these. I didn't realize how long they took to mine, or I wouldn't have done so. If only I had a beacon to make this process faster. But indeed, I will have a beacon. I'm just going to need to grab a few extra beacons from my portable beacon box, and then I can place down what is going to be the most glorious thing I think you've ever seen. Or, isn't this the best? Isn't this absolutely beautiful? The answer to both those questions is, of course, yes. But I'm missing one key ingredient. And sure, I can run right over to the furnace with my 7 ancient debris, which seems like a real good amount, right? Like, wow, that's got to turn into like 1 billion Netherite blocks. But no, for every single Netherite block you want, you need to have 36 ancient scrap, which one ancient debris is 1 Netherite scrap. You're not meant to mine them with fortune, are you? You know, it's definitely, you know, I'm pretty sure you know. But, imagine if I am just... But anyway, so yeah, every single 4 of these is 1 ingot, which, oh, we have to put more stuff in there. Shall I smelt on my boat next? No, I think this makes much more sense. Anyway, so, yeah, every 4 of these we get 4 little gold ingots, combine them together, and what do we get? A whopping ingot of Netherite. 1 ingot, which can be used to make, like, you know, a lot of people have been saying I should upgrade my chest plate. You know, I don't think I should upgrade this chest plate. I think I have to sit here and grind away until I have another 29 of this. I mean, I've already got 2. I found 2 in my chest over here, as you just saw just then. So, clearly that means I need 27 ancient debris, which should be really easy to mine. I'm not going to be doing any of the explosive mining stuff, probably. I'm mostly going to be sticking to mining the pure way under my world. And if you want to see that, then the full few hours of this was actually done as a live stream, and you can watch the entirety of that. I know a lot of people like to see these small survival tasks. Honestly, I really do as well. But the Let's Play is about finding the balance between just the pure, raw Minecraft format, but also what people want to watch. To some extent, you're always making this decision about what you do on the internet, which is how much is what I want to do and how much is what others want to do. To some extent, that's what you're doing in life as a whole. You could pick any job you want to, or you could pick the one that is going to do the most value for people, or the most value for yourself, you could argue, via your compensation. There are all these sorts of trade-offs you're making in the world, and yeah, as you watch me mine Netherite, let's talk about some of them, because there's been a lot of controversy this week about a certain creator who's very big, doing some charitable acts, but people saying, wow, I can't believe you're doing those on camera, but also more importantly, wow, it's so small compared to what you could have done. And I think about this every time, you know, a rich person, let's just say a billionaire, donates, and they donate a few million something, and people go, wow, Mr. Billionaire over here dropping a few million. And it's really interesting because, you know, there's 2 ways you can see that. One is to say, what are people doing as a proportion of what they could be doing? And the other is, what are they doing compared to me? And when you look at people and you say, what are they doing compared to me? It's a really brutal look at the world. Like, man, there are people out there who are achieving brand new things every day. I learned about someone who ran a marathon every day for 216 days. Well, I'm someone who used to go running quite a bit, but I still can't run more than a few miles without, my heart failing and all the blood coming into my mouth. Like it's awful the way what happens when I run because I'm not as talented as that sort of person, right? And so even though I could look at them and say, oh, 216 days, why didn't they do 217? The truth is that actually they did a very impressive thing when compared to me. But the question is, should you be comparing yourself in society that way? Because, if you think about, someone who is a weightlifter, it's really easy for them to lift 200 pounds, and so I shouldn't actually be so impressed when they do it, whereas when they break their record, that's when it's nice and impressive. When someone actually goes out of their way and they donate a large percent of their fortune, that's impressive. When someone just gives millions of dollars, sure, it's millions more than I'm ever going to give to charity. It's even a higher percent of my net worth than I'm giving. Like, if they give a full 1% of their net worth, what percent of your net worth have you donated to charity? Right now, total everything you have and tell me what percent of that you're willing right now to give away, and you realize the interesting thing, that everyone finds it easy to criticize and find the flaws in other people, but when it comes to yourself, it's a little bit different. I've been watching this show recently. It's about time travel. It's called Travelers. It's a Canadian show from like 2018. It's been long cancelled, but I got into this show recently, and it's got this really interesting episode about the idea of like, basically time loops, like doing the same day over and over again, and like adding a new bit of information each time, you get better and better. There's something about this Groundhog Day story. Apparently, by the way, Groundhog Day is this week, so fun fact. But there's something about this idea of like doing something better and better and better that I've always found to be super, super compelling. And it's really, in my opinion, the answer to the question of should you compare what other people could do to what they're doing or yourself? And I think the easy answer is like, well, neither actually. The controversy with any given billionaire in a day or any given YouTube multi-millionaire is like, yeah, obviously any single person can do better than they're already doing. And that is something you should apply when looking at these people and say, wow, they could do better. And rather than just saying, I will dedicate myself to making sure other people do better, I think it's a much healthier thing to look at yourself and say, what could you be doing better? I've said this before, I do donate to charity every year, but maybe it should be a bigger thing. Maybe even I should make it. See, something I've always felt is tacky is when people do charitable acts for camera. I've just always found it to be like, okay, well now you've negated the benefit of what you're doing because you're trying to do the nice thing so that people appreciate it. There's something different about giving money to a homeless person versus giving money to a homeless person and filming, or even if you give them a whole house, it's still a very charitable deed. And I've come around to thinking that like, yeah, it's better to do the charitable act and record it than to not do the charitable act and not record it. But I also always feel like the greatest acts of charity are the ones you don't need to brag about. When you turn something nice you do for someone else into a bragging point that you can tell everyone about, you kind of negate some of the good. You make it less of a pure deed. But the more I think about things and the more I kind of like age, I guess, and maybe you could say mature, the more I realize that, ultimately most people aren't going around doing silent good, and most people don't set themselves or hold themselves to that standard. And even if they were setting themselves and holding themselves to that standard, we'd never see it, so we'd assume that they're not doing it. That's the problem about never telling someone about what you're doing. The moment, this is where the problem of a selfless act comes in. You can never truly prove that you're doing one, and so instead of trying to prove that you're selfless, just try and prove that you are genuinely helping lots of people. You can make, sometimes I've seen people make arguments that like, well, actually, this hurts people by saying that because there's someone out there who will help you, that it's actually really bad and we don't come together and make solutions. And there is a valid point in there, don't get me wrong. I think it's interesting, but the much more interesting point is to say, okay, who do you compare yourself to? Who do you compare, what people could do? Do you look at other people and say, what could they do? Or do you look at you and say, what can you do? So should I say the marathon runner is 216 times better than amazing because they can blow me out of the water in running? Should I look at a billionaire instead and say, well, they could donate billions? Or should I look at a marathon runner and say, well, I actually bet given her shape, the way she was running those marathons, she could have actually run 240 days, but she didn't want to dedicate 8 months of her life to being hell, which is a reasonable request, but she should have done it if it was impressive. Like, you can look at anyone and say they could do better. Anyone who's at the very cutting edge does have room for improvement. No one is perfect, and no one is the perfect version of themselves, but that's something I think you should apply more to yourself. I think it's something I've been trying to apply to myself, is not, on YouTube, one of the things that I always kick myself in, every year there is a brand new creator in the Minecraft space that does something not that far away from what I do and goes massively successful. Like way back in the Minecraft console days, there was one Minecraft console YouTuber that went so much bigger than any other one, and then later there's the one that you're probably thinking about now that there was another one the next year. They made very different content to me, but it was still Minecraft console, and it went amazingly huge. Then there was someone in the Minecraft space that went absolutely absolutely nuts using a lot of techniques that I'd shown off on YouTube years ago, but because I just showed them off as tutorials rather than making them part of an exciting story, it never did quite so well. And, you know, you can kick yourself all day for that, and you can say these people don't deserve it, or blank, 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 but ultimately they took what they were doing and they made it better, and they honestly did something better than me. I believe that the YouTube audience was correct to say, wow, these people did make some nice things and they got huge success in return. So instead of saying, wow, I'm bitter, these people did what I did, but slightly worse or slightly better, instead I say, wow, these people did better than they were doing before and they got the success they probably deserved. And not only is that like a healthy attitude to hopefully grow yourself from, but I think it's, like envy is one of the worst things you can do in the world. There's a really important quote about like, you should never be looking into your neighbor's like wealth to see how much they have and try and work out like if you're doing worse than them. The only time you should look around is to say, are they in need of help? Do people need support from me? And that's the time you should be looking around at other people and saying, what are they doing? Because ultimately, everyone does have their own whole set of goals and their whole set of ways they intend to help people. I can't judge. I know something that really annoys me personally is like the idea of people spending lots of money on animals, especially dogs, like spending thousands of dollars on a dog. And it's like you could spend next to nothing and help a dog that actually needs it rather than, supporting one of these. It's one of those things that like annoys me on a personal level, right? But at the same time, I'm not going to look at every person who buys a very expensive dog and say, wow, I can't believe, it's just like, well, they probably are doing nicer things in other ways. I guarantee it. There's lots of ways in my personal life that, maybe I'm not nice. Like, I genuinely don't believe in giving money to homeless people, which is, I think, something that helps them. And a lot of people go, man, even if you think they're going to use it for drugs, like, they need the drugs, give them the money. I've seen a lot of arguments that way, as an example. If you look at any, way that we act in the world, with my YouTube audience, I could be much more, relatable and sympathetic and tell you that, like, yeah, we really are friends. I'm here for you always. I'm very honest about the fact that this is a parasocial relationship. You know me more than I know you, and I want you to be aware of that, and I hope that you enjoy my company regardless, but I like to be honest and upfront about things in a way that maybe I'd be nicer if I'm not. If I run across a dirty bathroom, in some public place, rather than cleaning it up and being like, well, this is someone else's pee, but I'm just, I don't do that. I'm just like, well, I'm just going to avoid their pee and pee over it, the bathroom gets made a much worse place. There's so many ways you can make the world better and you're not doing so, and it's so easy to criticize other people for saying they're not doing as great as they could do. But I think one of the things you should take charge of and one of the things you should stay in control of is making sure that you make yourself better than you are and making yourself more in control of the things that are directly around you. Ultimately, taking responsibility is one of the hardest things to do as a human, because usually there isn't that much external reward. People don't go, wow, good job for helping out that person, good job for cleaning out that bathroom, or good job for pretending to do this or that, or being honest with people. But ultimately, taking responsibility and trying to make something around you better is an important thing. And once you can take responsibility for yourself, you can start then taking responsibility for other things. A lot of people skip straight ahead from I need to make myself slightly better to I can make the world an amazing place if I just convince, because we do have some people in certain political systems who realize that, one of the things they can sell you in exchange for your vote is, the idea of self-fulfillment. I will make the world a better place, or I'll fight for you to make the world a better place, and your local environment, anything that's bad about it, that is something I can do for you. And that's like a dangerous message to send to people. I think a much more important message is to say, yeah, make some stuff great, and then you can start making all these other things much better. You can help out your local, a lot of people think only in the national or international scale. You can make your local place so much better. Just, pick up a little bit of rubbish on your street, and now your street is a slightly nicer place than it was before. You can, there's all these tiny, small acts you can do in your local surroundings that have a huge impact. Like, literally, you can reduce the pollution rate of your street from, 10% down to 0% in just a single 5-minute walk. There are so many ways that you can make huge impacts, and that's what I love about Minecraft. It does take some time to make these impacts, but in just a few short hours today, I went from having basically no beacons, like always having to mine a beacon to use a beacon for a big project, to having so many beacons that I need to get a block of Netherite to place on them, which I think I've just mined the last ancient debris for. Anyway, I put it into my furnace, and now 36 of it has officially cooked up, which means if I take these 4 gold blocks turn them into my gold, then I can officially make myself 9 Netherite ingots, which, as you know, makes a block of Netherite. And so, here we are, ready to do it. This is my maxed out beacon, and this is the only thing that is better. The beacon, wait, the beacon Netherite. Oh wait, no, if I put it right there, it looks like it has the power effect. Okay, there we go. That was definitely intentional. You can all, ooh, isn't that beautiful, chat? Okay, I think that's much better. We can still do the same thing with the beacon effect if we just sit in the water at just the right angle. Wow, look at my beacon. It's working so well. Look at all the beams that are coming out of it. No, thank you very much for watching. This has been a wild ride. Thank you for coming along with it on me. And if you want to see more Let's Play episodes, then they'll be linked down below alongside the unlisted live streams playlist if you want to see more long-form Toy Cat and all of the weird rants and whatnot that comes of that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And if you want to have the ultimate flex, it's not the Netherite beacon, it's the beacon Netherite. Goodbye. Man, this was such a ludicrous amount of effort for such a dumb joke. But instead, a beacon Netherite. That is my goal today. My god, how many times am I going to get thunder on worlds that aren't my super flat? But anyway, today, my goal is to do both of those things.